He's on the floor, Tom.
Explain to me what he's doing.
He's moseying, terrifyingly moseying. It's like if Santa Claus was a hitman.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Wolfe Diaries. Today, we're diving headfirst into one of the most talked about, jaw-dropping shows of the last decade, HBO's Succession. If you haven't watched it yet, first of all, what have you been doing? Second, spoiler alert, you're going to want to catch up because we're unpacking why this series was so compelling, chaotic, and, let's be honest, way too relatable for a show about billionaires stabbing each other in the back. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Wolfe Diaries. From family drama on steroids to Shakespearean power struggles, Succession was a masterpiece of tension, wit, and dysfunction. But was it perfect? Not exactly. Today, we're breaking down what made this show so great and the ways it missed the mark, especially when it came to Logan Roy's shocking exit. So let's dive in. 1. Logan Roy, the unstoppable force. Let's start with the man himself, Logan Roy. Back in Season 1, we were all convinced Logan was circling the drain, weak, out of touch, and on his way out. But oh, how wrong we were. Logan came roaring back, reminding everyone, his kids, his board, and us, that he's the ultimate big dog. Logan's character was the heart of Succession. He wasn't just a tyrannical chief executive officer. He was the sun the rest of the show's planets orbited around. And he may have been the iron-fisted patriarch at the helm of the Roy Empire, but beneath that towering facade of power and control, he was also a masterclass in toxic leadership. Sure, he was a pillar of strength, if by strength you mean the ability to crush anyone in his path with the cold precision of a corporate predator. But for all his business brilliance, Logan was a terrible parent, a bully, and a man whose every interaction felt like a power play. He manipulated his children with an emotional coldness that would make a Siberian winter feel warm. His love was conditional, his respect was earned only through fear, and his relationships? Well, they were more about dominance than connection. It's easy to admire a character who can command a room, but Logan's domineering nature made him deeply unlikable, as his arrogance and lack of empathy left no room for genuine human connection. In the end, even the most powerful figures can be deeply lonely, and Logan Roy was as isolated as they come, forever trapped in his own toxic reign. Honestly, the show never fully recovered after he was sloppily written off early in the final season. Sure, it was bold, but it robbed us of the face-offs, the mind games, and that razor-sharp dialogue we loved so much. Unaliving Logan so early? A power move, yes, but one that left a gaping hole in the narrative. 2. The Roy siblings, who really had the edge. Now let's talk about the Roy kids. Connor, Kendall, Shiv, and Roman. Were they all terrible people? Sure. But were they endlessly compelling? Absolutely. Each sibling had their own flavor of dysfunction, and their constant backstabbing and scheming were somehow equal parts infuriating and relatable. Let's break it down. Connor Roy, the eccentric sibling seeking attention in all the wrong places. Connor Roy is the oldest son of Logan Roy, but don't expect him to be the one vying for the CEO throne in Succession. Unlike his more ambitious siblings, Connor's main goal isn't power, it's attention. While he shows little interest in the cutthroat world of corporate warfare, his deep-seated desire to be seen by his family is undeniable. Whether it's running a quixotic presidential campaign with little chance of winning or simply inserting himself into family dynamics, Connor's thirst for validation is as strong as his disdain for the harsh realities of business. He's the type of character who craves acknowledgement without the heavy lifting that comes with the job. The irony is, Despite his indifference to the Empire's direction, he somehow remains at the heart of its dysfunction, never fully realizing that his need for approval is often the one thing keeping him in the game. Connor's peculiar blend of aloofness and yearning for attention makes him a strangely relatable, yet painfully out-of-touch figure in the Roy family saga. Kendall Roy, the tragic smart one. First up, Kendall. Was he the smartest of the bunch? Maybe. He certainly thought so, and there were moments like the iconic takeover press conference in Season 2, where we believed it too. But Kendall's brilliance was always undermined by his self-destructive tendencies. For every win, there was a massive meltdown lurking around the corner. He was tragic because he wanted so badly to be the hero, but his insecurities and need for validation kept sabotaging him. Shiv Roy, the pretender. Now, Shiv. She wanted everyone to believe she was the smartest person in the room, and she was great at talking like she was. But when it came to actual moves, Shiv often fumbled. Her downfall was her arrogance. She thought she could outmaneuver everyone, but her lack of real business acumen and her constant underestimation of her brothers and generally everyone around her always came back to bite her. Still, her moments of vulnerability, especially in the final season, made her a fascinating character. Roman Roy, the heart underneath the crassness. Then we have Roman, the snarky, crude, perpetually immature youngest sibling. On the surface, Roman seemed like a walking joke, but underneath the wisecracks was a deeply wounded person. His relationship with Logan? Yikes. Roman was compelling because he hid a massive heart under all that bravado. He was desperate for approval and love, but his defense mechanisms, his sarcasm, his recklessness, always got in the way. Out of all the siblings, Roman was arguably the most emotionally raw. 3. Tom and Greg, the odd duo that won? Now, let's talk about the underdogs, Tom and Greg. These two went from being comic relief to some of the most important players in the series. Their relationship was this bizarre mix of mentorship, manipulation, and something resembling friendship? Maybe? Tom's journey was fascinating. He started as this power-hungry outsider, desperate to climb the ranks, and ended up outmaneuvering everyone, including Shiv. And Greg? The ultimate opportunist. Was their victory satisfying? Kind of. But let's be real. These two coming out on top feels like the writers saying, everyone's terrible, so why not these guys? 4. Writing excellence and some missed opportunities. Now, here's the thing about Succession. It had some of the sharpest writing we've ever seen on TV. Every line of dialogue felt like a weapon. The characters were layered, flawed, and so human that you couldn't help but get invested, even when you hated them. Compare that to the final 2 seasons of Game of Thrones, where the writing felt rushed, the character arcs were inconsistent, and the payoff didn't match the build-up. Succession never had that problem. It knew how to make even the smallest interactions feel loaded with meaning. The Logan Roy problem. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Logan Roy's demise. Unaliving him off early in the final season was a bold move, sure. But the way it was handled? Disappointing. Logan dies off-screen, mid-flight, in a way that felt almost anticlimactic. The aftermath was powerful, no doubt. But this is Logan Roy we're talking about. He deserved a more fitting send-off, something that matched the larger-than-life presence he brought to the series. 5. Why Succession was a success despite flaws. So, why was Succession such a hit, even with these missteps? Because at its core, it was about family. Sure, it was a toxic, power-hungry, deeply dysfunctional family, but that's what made it relatable. The power plays, the betrayals, the desperate need for approval, it was all grounded in very human emotions. And let's not forget the humor. The show's biting wit and absurd scenarios kept things entertaining, even when the drama reached Shakespearean levels. Conclusion. So, there you have it. Succession, a show that was equal parts genius and frustrating. It gave us some of the most compelling characters and dialogue in TV history, but it also left us wanting more. Was it cut short too soon? Absolutely. Did Logan deserve a better send-off? No doubt. But at the end of the day, Succession succeeded because it made us care about these deeply flawed, deeply human characters. What do you think? Was Succession the masterpiece we all say it is? Or did the final season leave you disappointed? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more deep dives into your favorite shows. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes you can't make a Tomlet without some Gregs. Thank you for joining us on this captivating journey. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and/or subscribe for more delightful content, and I'll see you on the next one.